a big part of the project, once we control the weeds out here, is to do native enhancement planting. So that involves picking sites using the existing tree canopy as a bit of a nursery, and then the idea being that the native plants here will eventually self-seed and be dispersed across the site to help with what the trees here are currently doing, which is part of flood mitigation for the site.
So right behind us we have one of our largest Kanuka trees that we have found on site, and something like this is highly important for the contract and for the job and for ourselves, because something's so old we can't even put an age to it. Finding something like this took a lot of time because we can't exactly see it with our willows around us smothering it out, and it wasn't until we were right underneath it that's when we identified the Kanuka tree as it is.
It's always really exciting when we find a big Kanuka like this and then we find all the seedlings surrounding it. It means that, yeah, nature's doing its job for us. So we have planted a few things under the canopy just to really enhance that site, but yeah, this is what our job's about.
This is a really good example of where it's quite critical to have a good knowledge base of how native plants can tolerate certain conditions. So in this case, where we've done our enhancement planting already, we knew that this area was going to have seasonal flooding, as is quite obvious here, it's underwater. So we chose out of our species list to plant Phormium 10X or New Zealand flax in here, knowing that it would thrive in these conditions and not be overwhelmed by the water.
Plant identification is quite vital to our work, and especially working in areas like this. This shrub behind us was karamu, and that was completely covered and overwhelmed by old man's bed. So for someone that may not know what native plants look like, they may have either sprayed or gone through the middle of it with chainsaw or hedge trimmer, and that is one of our key successes to prevent work like that being done, and that's why plant identification is key while working in the area.
When we find something like this, it's a little bit of, so it could just be that much sticking out from a sea of old man's beard. So it's a bit of, okay, we see something, then we go in really gently and try and clear it out as best we can. And I mean, if we had bowled this down, that's years worth of growth that's lost, and it's a bush that's obviously well suited to its environment. So we really want stuff like this as a seed source to spread throughout all this area that we've cleared.